and this one is a standalone expansion to the original game Phantom Inc., which I actually hadn't heard of before, which is now pretty exciting to me because this one is my own personal pick of the week. This one is a really clever deduction word game, but it's got a lot of unique mechanisms that look like a lot of fun, but also tie in its theme better than almost any other game. This is a game where players are going to be split off into two teams, and then there's going to be a player on each team acting as a spirit. At the start of the game, a card is going to be drawn that has a bunch of different words on it, and the two spirits are the only players that get to look at that card, and they're going to be agreeing on one of those words to be the word used for that game. Throughout the game, each of the spirits is going to be giving clues to their team to try and guess that word, and whichever team is able to do that first is going to be the winner of the game. But let me tell you exactly how that works. Each of the teams takes turns getting a clue from their spirit, and the way this works is that the living members on that team are also going to have 7 different question cards. They're going to choose 2 of those question cards to give to their spirit, and then the spirit can choose one that they want to answer. They don't actually let their team know which one they are answering because they have to discard the other one face down. But it's really cool how they answer this question because they're going to be writing the answer to that question on their team's side of the ghostwriter board, writing just one letter at a time, and then announcing the letter as they write it. The reason you want to do it this way is because this gives the rest of your team the opportunity to tell you to stop at any letter. This is important because even though the other team doesn't know the exact question that you asked, the answer to that question could end up giving them some sort of clue once they start gathering some clues of their own. So you'll just want to stop your ghost from writing out the full word if you already think you know what they're writing. The teams will be taking turns doing this, moving down their side of the board, and then there are these special locations that have these eyes beside them, and anytime that a team reaches one of those rows, you'll be able to force the spirits to add one more letter to any of the words out on the board, whether it's on your side of the board or on your opponent's side of the board. Instead of asking a question, you can actually guess the word yourself by writing the word out on that next row. With each letter that you write, the ghost is going to indicate to you whether that's the correct letter by knocking twice on the table. If you don't hear a knock, there's no point in writing out another letter because you're just going to be giving more clues to your opponent. But the game continues like this until a team's able to successfully guess their word, and then they win the game. The new expansion is going to be adding a bunch of new questions and word cards that can just be mixed into the game. But like I said, this is a standalone expansion as well, so there will be enough here just to allow this game to be played without the original content. But it's also going to be adding some new special ability cards in the form of tarot cards. And these can be used on your turn for some small advantages or additional clues, like getting more question cards into your hand, being able to add additional letters to existing words out on the board, or even getting additional emphasis on certain clues that were already given that your spirit really wants you to focus on. Of course, there's going to be a whole variety of different cards that are going to be offered here, but that's just a few examples of what you might expect. I really love what I'm seeing with this one. It looks like a really fun game to play if the power goes out or maybe during the month of Halloween. And if you think this one looks like a lot of fun just like I do, you can follow along with it on its Kickstarter launch page right now. And you can find a link to that in the description down below.